Self-doubt can stop you from reaching your full potential, but you can change this pattern of thinking. It's not about becoming more competent, but about changing the way you view your competence. In this video, I'll share 3 powerful mindset shifts you can start applying today to challenge imposter syndrome and stop feeling like a fraud. These simple changes will help you build genuine self-confidence and feel worthy of your own success. Throughout this video, we will explore 3 powerful yet simple mindset shifts designed to help you dismantle the architecture of imposter feelings. First, we will learn to separate our powerful feelings from the objective facts of our accomplishments. Second, we will reframe our relationship with mistakes, transforming them from proof of our inadequacy into essential opportunities for growth. Finally, we will uncover the profound strength found in vulnerability and the importance of sharing our experiences with others. These strategies will equip you with the tools to quiet your inner fraud and start owning your success. The first and most crucial step in dismantling imposter syndrome is learning to create a clear separation between what you feel and what is fact. Feelings are powerful, persuasive, and often feel like undeniable truths, but they are not evidence. When you feel like a fraud, that feeling is not a factual assessment of your skills. It is an emotional response, often triggered by stress, new challenges, or high expectations. Imagine you have just given a presentation that your professor and classmates praised. The facts are, you prepared thoroughly, you delivered the material clearly, you received positive feedback. These are observable, concrete realities. Your feelings might be telling you a completely different story. I stumbled over one word. My voice was shaking. They were just being nice. Your imposter feelings will zoom in on the tiniest perceived flaw and inflate it until it eclipses all the positive evidence. This is where you must intervene and become your own fact-checker, consciously challenging the emotional narrative with tangible proof. To put this into practice, start an evidence log. Every time you accomplish something, no matter how small, write it down. This list becomes your arsenal of facts. When the feeling of being an imposter creeps in, you can pull out your log and read the concrete, undeniable evidence of your competence. This act physically reinforces the separation between your temporary feelings and the permanent record of your abilities. Many who struggle with imposter syndrome are trapped by impossible standards of perfectionism. You might believe to be truly competent, you must know everything, you must do everything flawlessly, all the time. Any mistake or gap is not seen as normal learning. It's seen as definitive proof you're a fraud. This mindset creates a cycle of anxiety. The fear of making a mistake can be paralyzing. It prevents you from taking risks, asking questions, or even starting a task. The second powerful shift, consciously let go of perfection. Embrace imperfection as the true path to competence. Real competence is not about being perfect. It's about being resilient, resourceful, and having the ability to learn, adapt, and grow. Mistakes are part of success, not the enemy. Every expert was once a beginner who made countless errors. Your goal isn't to avoid mistakes at all costs. Your goal is to learn how to make mistakes well. A good mistake yields a valuable lesson. It becomes a stepping stone, not a stumbling block. Consider the difference between perfectionist versus growth mindset. Perfectionist thinks, I must get this right on the first try, or it proves I'm not smart enough. Growth mindset thinks, this is a new challenge. I'll give it my best shot. If I make a mistake, I'll figure out what went wrong and try a different approach. This shift is liberating. It gives you permission to be human, to be a work in progress, to approach tasks with curiosity instead of fear. To practice, start celebrating your beautiful oops moments. Reinforce that competence isn't flawlessness. It's the courageous, messy process of getting better over time. Imposter syndrome thrives in silence and isolation. When you keep your feelings of inadequacy to yourself, they tend to magnify and fester in the darkness. Your internal critic convinces you that you are the only one who feels like a fraud, which makes you feel even more alienated. This is why the third mindset shift is perhaps the most courageous and transformative. You must talk about it. Sharing your feelings of self-doubt with a trusted friend, a family member, or a mentor is like switching on a light in a dark room. It immediately diminishes the power of the shame and secrecy that fuel the imposter experience. The moment you voice your fears, one of 2 magical things typically happens. Often, the person you confide in will respond with a knowing look and say, "Me too." You will discover that your mentor has felt the exact same way. Your high-achieving friend has felt the exact same way. Even your professor has felt the exact same way. This realization is incredibly powerful. It shatters the illusion that you are alone in your struggle. Knowing that successful, competent people you admire also wrestle with self-doubt instantly validates your feelings, while simultaneously proving that those feelings are not an accurate measure of ability. Even if the person you talk to has not experienced imposter syndrome themselves, the act of speaking your truth out loud can be profoundly healing. When you finally articulate them, you release that pent-up pressure. Choosing who to talk to is important. Find someone who you know will listen with empathy and without judgment, a peer who is going through similar experiences, an older student who has navigated the challenges you are facing. Start the conversation simply, creating a safe space for others to share their own stories. We have walked through 3 fundamental mindset shifts that can help you break free from the grip of imposter syndrome. These are practical tools for your mental toolkit you can start using today. They work together to build authentic confidence, not perfection. Let's quickly review these strategies. The first tool, separate your feelings from the facts. Remember, feelings of fraud are emotional, not reality. Your accomplishments, positive feedback, and progress are the facts. Be your own detective when doubt arises. Challenge doubt by gathering hard evidence. Keep an evidence log, a list of successes big and small. That tangible record becomes your anchor in moments of self-doubt. The second tool, embrace imperfection and see mistakes as learning opportunities. Let go of the paralyzing belief you must be flawless. Competence is about your capacity to learn and grow. Reframe mistakes as data points, not indictments of your character. When you make an error, ask yourself, what is the lesson here? This turns setbacks into comebacks and builds resilience. Finally, the third tool, break the silence and share your story. Imposter syndrome loses power when exposed to connection. Find a trusted friend, mentor, or peer and have the courage to be vulnerable. Voicing your doubts often reveals you're not alone. Shared stories build community and normalize these feelings. Quick recap: evidence log, growth mindset, share your story. Start using these tools today. Small habits, big changes. You now have a map and a compass to navigate your way out of the fog of imposter feelings. You understand these feelings are not a life sentence, but a pattern of thinking that can be changed. You have 3 concrete, actionable steps you can take. Separate feelings from facts, embrace imperfection as a path to growth, break the silence by sharing your experience. The knowledge is yours, but the power lies in its application. The journey to authentic confidence doesn't happen by just reading about it. It begins when you take that first, small, courageous step. Which of these 3 mindset shifts resonates with you? Creating an evidence log to ground yourself in facts? Giving yourself permission to make a mistake and learn from it? Reaching out to that one person you trust and finally sharing the burden? You don't need to master all 3. Choose one to focus on this week. That single intentional action is a victory in itself. Building confidence is a practice, not a destination. There will be days the old voice of doubt whispers again, and that's okay. On those days, you'll recognize it for what it is, a feeling, not a fact. Pull out your tools, reread your evidence log, remind yourself a slip-up is a lesson, and call a friend. Each time you do this, you strengthen resilience and weaken imposter feelings. You're rewiring your brain to build empowering thought patterns. Consider the power you have to help others. As you practice, you become a source of strength and inspiration for those silently struggling. When you share your story, you give someone else permission to share theirs. Be the person who says, "Me too."